All right, it is January 4th, 2024. I'm actually doing this the night before this time. I usually do it on Fridays, but I know tomorrow's going to be real busy. So I'm doing this Thursday night for bed. I just recorded the YouTube video for tomorrow, but like it's not edited, so I gotta I gotta wake up early and do it. I didn't do my cardio for today. I'm prepping for a bodybuilding show, and I have like 1.5 days of cardio to catch up on today that I didn't do. It's not a ton of cardio yet, but I have to do that, and then I have tomorrow's cardio, so I have to get that done. That's gonna happen in the morning. So I just figured I'm gonna get this recorded the night before because tomorrow's gonna be nuts. But yeah, let's start with work. Work is pretty quick this week. People are. It's not done. It's not Friday yet, but but people are still kind of trickling back into the office. So momentum's kind of coming back, but still a little slow. So not a whole lot to update on there. Was nice to be able to just get back to chatting with folks and checking in with them after the holidays and stuff. So that's been good. But yeah, not a whole lot to update there. So I'll keep that brief. Meal coach, not a ton to update on. I have the excluding myself, the third engineer brought on. So he's awesome in particular, like he's awesome at lots of things, but in particular about cloud infrastructure and things like that. So gonna be leveraging him in the beginning of his kind of time with us to try and get some pieces in place that they're not they're not critical in this moment. Like if we don't do them, we're not gonna be stopped from shipping value to customers. So it's arguably not the highest priority. However, I think that because we're waiting for some more feedback to come in, the one of the other engineers who's doing some front end work, I've been maybe he's kind of just catching up from holidays and stuff, but we're trying to land one feature there, and the other engineer hasn't yet onboarded. So this guy is onboarding right now, and I was like, I don't want to step on toes and have too many cooks in the kitchen kind of thing. And one of the things that needs attention is the fact that our integration tests and stuff like that, they were not working properly. Like the easiest way to say it, it's not working properly in our CI/CD system. So because he has expertise there, I just said, hey, like, instead of me banging my head against the wall trying to do this and kind of hack it together, like, I'll press pause, let me allow you to kind of use your expertise to suggest the direction to go here. So, pretty excited for that. The reason I wanted to prioritize that is because with more of us working on it, if you watch some of my videos I put on YouTube not too long ago, I literally had back-to-back production breakages and I wrote the tests. I wrote the server and I'm still screwing it up. So I feel like when we have more people committing code, I want to be in a position where we just we're relying on the test for the right reason. So um, I'm looking forward to that. And then beyond that, he's got in terms of different like cloud stacks and stuff. I think he's got a lot of experience with deployment, like which is funny. Like I literally manage deployment teams at Microsoft, but the technology stacks that we use are just not they're just not the same. So a lot of my carryover expertise would be more around like strategy and not not the technical implementation. So yeah, really excited to have him on board. I wanted to share that like he was excited because he was like not only is it like a interesting project to work on, but it was really cool to hear him say, and I want to use this. Like that's cool to me. uh, I don't know. I feel like that resonates a lot, so I just wanted to kind of say it out loud because it's cool. Anyway, not yeah, that's kind of where meal coach stuff is at. We have a couple of clients onboarded through the bodybuilding coach at the gym I go to. Um, one of them told me directly like how excited he is and how cool he thinks the app is, which I was like, that's so cool. But sometimes when people tell you nice things, you're like, I don't know if you're just trying to be nice to me, but the bodybuilding coach came up to me at the gym and said like, I have some feedback for you, and it so far it's been a little bit of a miss with the feedback, which is fine. We need to hear it, but he kind of set it up this way, and then was like, the individual had told the coach how excited he is and how cool he thinks the app is. So it seems like he's not blowing smoke up my ass. He's trying to genuinely express that he's excited, so that's really cool. I feel like because these videos don't go on YouTube, I can cuss and stuff, so whatever. Uh, so yeah, I think that's it for Meal Coach. The Dev Leader stuff is exciting. There's a lot, like as of today, there's a ton going on. So where to start? I have Discord community starting right now. There's only a couple of people in there, but I'm gonna slowly be trying to grow that out because I want to make sure that it starts small and I can practice having a community and engaging and getting the feedback and just instead of trying to open it up to whoever and everyone, like not that I suspect I'm not like a internet celebrity where everyone's gonna flood in, but if there's too many people that I don't know how to manage, it falls apart. So I just want to slowly let people in. So that's going on. Um, I put out an ebook. So my first ebook, I have a list on my whiteboard over here, which I'm not gonna. I just there's some private stuff on there too. I'm not gonna turn the camera to it, but um, try to set some goals for stuff I want to hit by July. And one of them is having at least 6 ebooks by July 1st. So the first one I just put out. I'm taking like I want to explain my approach here. So it's 106 pages. It's basically just high level overview of 24 different design patterns. And I was on the fence about this because I'm charging for it. I'm giving it away for the first handful of people, but I'm charging money for it, and I always feel guilty charging money for things. And I put out a lot of free content, but I feel guilty because like I don't want people to think that I'm trying to rip them off. Like as soon as I go to sell something, I have this feeling inside where I'm like, "Oh, people are gonna hate me." I hate that I feel that way. And so with the ebook, I'm like, "Okay, like I think that the content in it is valuable. It's a few bucks. It's 4.99. It's like it's not expensive. It's whatever, right? But my approach to this and the reason why I think it's worth 4.99 and potentially more and it takes a bit of trust in me, but I intend to update this ebook. The first people that I'm sending it out to for free, I'm making them check a box on a form that says like it's mandatory or else it doesn't work. Like I accept that you can like reach out to me for feedback. And I'm going to use that feedback to update the ebook. And whoever has it, so all these people who got it for free, will get all of the future revisions completely for free. And anyone who purchases it now when it's 4.99, they will get all of the future versions for free. I'm going to keep adding design patterns. So it has the gang of 4, like the 23 that are pretty standard. I added plugin design patterns there. I'm going to add more as I come across them. There aren't code examples in there. It's all written. So I'm going to update the ebook with code examples. It's already 100 pages. If I go to add in code examples, it's at least going to be, I mean, if it was 1 page of code per design pattern, it's at least going to be another 24 pages. I suspect it's going to take more than 1 page of code per, especially to explain it. It's probably going to be like a almost a 200-page ebook as soon as I put code in there. And whoever bought it is going to get that for 4.99. Like I feel like I just feel like it's a good investment to get it early. Give me the feedback and I will grow it. So that's my strategy. And if that doesn't resonate with people, that's okay. Like they can wait until there's more content in there and purchase it. That's totally fine. But it will be very valuable. Like I said, I always feel guilty about charging for things because that kind of feeling creeps up. But I'm gonna do another resource for and this one I think I'm just gonna give away for free because I like the idea of it. But a brag document. So at Microsoft, we have these things called connects that we do. I think I've talked about connects on these vlogs. And in our organization, we do them twice a year. That's mandatory. You can technically do them with your manager more frequently, but a connect is like a checkpoint where you are kind of, if you're familiar with the idea of a brag document, it's almost like a brag document. You're talking about, your accomplishments and things like that, and your lessons learned. Like it's just, I think it's a really good opportunity to level set with your manager. I'm losing my voice, I don't know what's going on. So I like that a lot, but the challenge is with only twice a year, like 6 months in between, like it's not ideal for being the only touch point. No one's recommending that, but with a brag document, you can kind of do this more frequently with your manager. Now, I am an engineering manager. I've been an engineering manager for almost 12 years. So almost my entire professional career outside of university has been as an engineering manager. So I, despite having imposter syndrome all the time, I know what I'm talking about in this territory. So I want to provide a brag document template and some guidelines on the side that people can leverage, that like it would be something that if an employee came to me and gave it to me, like I would go, hell yeah, like this is good, this helps me understand, like, and I feel like I'm in a very good position to be able to provide that. So I'm gonna do that. I think it's gonna be helpful. Um, I want to come up with another term that's not brag. And there's a bit of an exchange on LinkedIn earlier tonight. I say exchange like it was like a problem, but no, like a good comment back and forth about the term brag. It's like it almost it almost makes you feel guilty by calling it a brag document. So I'm gonna come up with a better name, um, because you're allowed to be proud of your accomplishments without bragging. Like bragging is a negative term, but being proud and confident is not an issue. Bragging, being cocky, like those are negative. Proud, confident, those are not. So I want to try to frame it that way. And anyway, I think that's going to be helpful. I'm going to give that away for free. Um, yeah, so I'm going to do that. What else is going on? I had someone, another content creator that has been extremely helpful for me. I'm very appreciative of all his help. He's asked me if I will do a guest article for his newsletter. So hell yeah, I'm gonna do that. That's sweet. Excited that he even thought about me for that. That's super cool. Um, Newsletter growth has been really good lately. I think we're doing like, I'm just trying to pull up a chart. It's real bright. Trying to pull up a chart. I don't know. I think if I extrapolate the numbers, because the growth has been picking up since I moved to Substack, big surprise. About like 800 or so a month. So I'm almost gonna double what I have in like I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks from now, which is awesome. Like that's I'm trying to focus a lot on growth. That's what's on this whiteboard. So that's really cool. I'm excited about that. Substack is being a great platform for me so far. What else? I'm trying to leave the big news for last because I'm super excited about it. But one thing I want to do, I had someone else reach out to me and ask about. I'm sure people, if you're watching this, then you probably know who John Cricket is if you're on LinkedIn, or on Substack. He makes a software engineering newsletter. It's about coding challenges. It's awesome. It's great. It's literally, when I tell people about like just build things to learn, like his newsletter is that. It's so cool. So, and it's language agnostic, right? Like write it in any language you want. So I had someone reach out to me and say like, I would like you to go do these, like make videos about solving them. So I'm gonna do that. But they also suggested I live stream. So I might try to kick that off and set up some dedicated time to do it. So I'll look into that. Um, and on that note, related to something that came out of the Discord, I'm pointing because Discord's over here. Um, I had someone ask about I no I had proposed like doing code reviews for some people in the Discord, and someone said, "Well, what about like I want to port some stuff to a new system, and I want your architectural feedback on it." And I said like, "I think that's really awesome. I'm happy to do that, but I don't want to like spoil the work for you. So I want them to do their homework first, right? Kind of come up with their plan. And then if they're like, hey, like now can you do it and show me your thought process? Like, yep, I'll do that. So I think I have Amazon pulled up behind this window that I'm recording and looking at right now, but and I shouldn't. I should look right here at you. But I am trying to find a drawing tablet so that I can, when I'm doing architecture and stuff, I can draw it out. Because if I have to use a mouse, you don't want to see me draw in paint. It's horrific. So if I have a mouse, I think I can do better. Uh, my goodness, if I have a drawing tablet, I think I can do better. So I'm looking for something right now. Um, okay, and that's gonna bring me to my final point. It's a long. We're already at 15 minutes. I'll try to be quick, but got courses figured out. I haven't signed the paperwork yet, but I got courses figured out for the next 3 months. And I said courses is plural. So there's two courses that I'll be doing in parallel in the next 3 months. Um, Potential, like basically if there's enough content, like sort of verbal agreement that I will do the third, which is awesome. And I proposed a completely different. They're all related, and I proposed a fourth course. So we're not signing that one yet, but again, a verbal agreement that later in the year I can do it. Um, and that one is about something I'm very passionate about. So if I say that and you know some of the content I put out, it might make sense to you. I don't know. I'm gonna ask Nick Chapsis this time if I'm allowed to kind of talk about them ahead of time, but I suspect probably not. Just because like with competitors for him, if they go, oh, he's gonna do it, I should time mine. So anyway, bunch of courses. I got two like on my whiteboard here. I said do two courses by July 1st, and I don't have to worry about that deadline now because I'll be done by the end of March. So um, really excited about that. I'm glad I had that phone call today. Nick Chaps has been awesome. I told him like, if it weren't for him reaching out to me last year, like I would have finished the year like down pretty negative on the social media and content creation journey. So it was nice to be able to break even, and I'm investing back into stuff. So it brings me to my previous point and my next point. So um, as I'm getting that drawing pad, I have to find one, right? But it was funny, and we talk about things like imposter syndrome all the time. I was thinking about this LinkedIn post I'm gonna write tonight, and like I'm 34, I'll be 35 in a couple months, so I'm 35. I am a principal level software engineering manager at Microsoft, so my career is, in my opinion, going reasonably well. I have spent a lot of time teaching people. Like even last year, I think I put out 150 videos. If it's about three a week for 50 weeks, I didn't get every week, so it's at least 100, not more than 150 last year. Educational videos. I put out a course, right? Um, I was sitting down with Nick Chapsis to talk about the next courses, and he said, "Okay, and like now it's time for some feedback." And I'm going, "Okay, like talk about being receptive to feedback and stuff too, right? We got to be open to it. We got to listen." So I'm like, okay, I'm like trying to brace myself, and he starts going through a couple of things, and they're all technical. They're all like, oh, like I think your IDE positioning, or it's not consistent, or um your sound, for example, your sound doesn't have a lot of depth. Okay, like these are cool, like good to know, right? Because I don't I don't watch my videos except for when I'm editing them, and then I'll skim through parts after, but I'm not it's a lot of time, and I've already lived it. So the it would be different if someone else was editing them for me. I'd go back and watch them. But anyway, so he has these critiques for me. I'm like, well, this is great. Like this is all stuff that I can address. And I remember like I was inspired in the moment, and even though I was afraid to ask it because of imposter syndrome, I said, well, was there any feedback about the teaching style? Like, did anyone complain about the teaching style? And I wanted to say this like on camera, right? Because it's it's fascinating. Like I asked that like part like I want to be better, of course, but like it was almost out of fear. Like I was afraid for him to be like, and yeah, and people said something. And like that's imposter syndrome. I'm like I said, like my credentials, I should be able to teach some of these concepts. I literally volunteer Monday and Tuesday mornings at a high school to help teach computer science. Like I used to tutor math when I was in grade 9, I used to tutor grade 11 math and like had people that were like, "Hey, like lining up, can you help me?" I've been teaching people for like, for a very long time in different topics. So I shouldn't have imposter syndrome. Well, I shouldn't say that. Everyone gets imposter syndrome. I think it's ironic, right? I'm having imposter syndrome over this thing. So, um, so yeah, I wanted to share that, but that was a bit of a tangent because some of the other criticism that Nick had for me was my video quality, and I thought that this was very interesting because when I'm looking at my video recording right now, when I look at my video quality, like I feel like it's decent, but he was showing me comparisons. He was like, "Do you see the blurring artifacts?" And I was like, "I do." Like, and I see this myself, like without him showing me. But I'm like, I have like a $4,000 camera pointed at me right now, including the lens. It's not crazy. It's a DSLR, but it's a nice camera. And I have it hooked up to this USB box, and I think it's this little USB box that's doing HDMI to USB and it's just breaking the quality because like I'm watching my face and I see it even in this recording window. So it's not like the editing software is making it worse. Um, so he gave me some recommendations. I'm gonna pick up an Elgato um, USB dongle for to replace this. Yeah, it's night. Like I'm real tired. I got USB dongle to replace this. This is what you get on the behind the scenes stuff. Obviously, I wouldn't do this in a normal video. And my lens, I'm gonna invest into buying a new lens for this. So um, lenses aren't cheap, but he had a good recommendation. He mentioned I'm not super into photography. I had some help because I was doing car photography for my own car, and he suggested a different lens that will help with the low light because it looks a little dark in here actually on this video, but like hopefully my face is lit up, right? I have two lights that are aimed down at me. I did that and my monitor just like lit up as well, so it got real bright. I have two lights aimed at me and this huge 48-inch monitor blasting light at me now too, but in this room all the lights are off. Like it's pitch black if I turned off those and these lights. There's no other light source coming in. So he mentioned that with the low light, the lens I'm using is probably not ideal. So recommended me one. So that's coming tomorrow actually. So my next video, which will go out with the newsletter and then be released Monday or Wednesday next week, that one will have well, I think the Elgato USB dongle comes too. So hopefully all of my video is completely cleaned up. I'm gonna do a bit of Googling about the audio because he mentioned that it's flat. I don't have a deep voice. Like I think if I talked, I can't even do it. If I had more bass in my voice, then it would be I don't know, you'd get the depth in my audio, but I don't have a deep voice. So I'm hoping that I can do some magic in the editing to kind of bring out some bass and improve it that way. So anyway, that was even longer than I thought, so I apologize, but it's the first update of the year and man, I'm looking at my to-do list and or like my goals and I'm pumped. I got courses lined up. I got one of my one out of six ebooks out of the way. I have the next that template for the brag document or the other name like that's an ebook in my opinion. I'm gonna give that one away though. Yeah, I'm excited. This is cool. So happy New Year to all of you. Thank you so much for your support. This year's going to be exciting, so let's see how it goes. Take care, and I'll see you next time.